This is the Calcaster, and this is a review of Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, Episode 7. To be connected? What, the connected? It doesn't make sense. Called But to Connect. Connect to butts. But to Connect? Oh. Star Trek Prodigy, Episode 4, Season 4, Episode 7, But to Connect. Ellipses, ... But to Connect. Why did they just call it The Connection? Anyway, you have an A story and a B story as typical of the other ones. You have the A story being the Stamets and the guy with the glasses. I'm trying to figure out. Is that Cronenberg is his name? Yeah, David Cronenberg. Trying to figure out his. Well, the character isn't named that, but that's Cronenberg. But he's they're trying to figure out why Zora has become sentient. Is she a threat? Zora then creates a kill switch. Then they decide that that's not a good idea. Then later on, they explore her dreams, and they find out that she has morals, I guess, by way of her dreams, even though sentient life forms have since have had dreams before. They say they haven't had dreams in the 32nd century. I guess they don't there, but so the B story is, I guess the B story is kind of the A story, really. They're having a conference to decide whether to go blow up the all-seeing eye spaceship thing in space. And Booker wants to blow it up, and creepy guy from the other universe wants to blow it up. Turns out creepy smart guy from the other universe isn't. Turns out that creepy guy from the other universe is a Sillian, and he's from the mirror universe. He's a Board, of course, and he's of course super smart. So he's created a kill switch thing for the alien probe thing that comes from far into the galaxy. Zora doesn't want to give up the coordinates, then later decides to, at which point they decide to make her a Starfleet person in order to appease her, I guess. But she's not Control. They established she's not Control. And why does the space eye thing look like the eye thing from CBS? That's really kind of stupid. Guys, come on. All-seeing eye from CBS. And also the all-seeing eye from Sillian Space from Pine Hill. A characterization in junior year of high school. The all-seeing eye. I didn't do it. Christine Covert did it. But everybody thought that I didn't do that. No, I just popularized an episode of the journal from that time period. I just gave it a title. But yeah, I did not create it. I created the Garfield cats with the boner, among other things on the board. Yes. But of course I had to tone down that part of the Garfield cats. Making fun of Jim Davis, of course, the Garfield guy. Tone that down later on for other versions of the Garfield drawing, not including the pecker. Really wanted to draw it though. Look, he's got a third leg. Okay, so Saru seems to like the old Vulcan lady or something. Give her a tea plant at the end. Booker steals a ship. His ship. Well, he steals his own ship, I guess, out of the shuttle bay. Because even though they vote to not blow up the planet, they vote for first contact with a super intelligent Category 3 civilization that probably doesn't care about them. But even so, but blowing it up would be wrong too. So Booker and the mirror guy take off. Another mirror guy. Yeah. So it's not Calcat though. It's somebody else. It's fine, I guess. There was a lot of Marvel Marvel TV show talking softly in the Senate scene. It's a space trial scene. I think actually the version of this that was the arbiter in differences in way back in the day. The story that I wrote for Voyager was better because it was contained in one episode, and they had to figure things out and then agree to do stuff. And that was in this one, but it's not as much. Which is why there isn't going to be any Sillian version of that redone, because what's the point of they're kind of doing that on Discovery this season, so I don't need to do it. They're also doing Cheerful Symmetry, but without my permission. They're just doing it. They did the Red Angel, so why not do the other stuff? And then it was announced that they're going to take a month and a half hiatus to air the rest of Discovery, rest of Prodigy. So they will be airing the rest of Prodigy next week instead, from last season, and splitting this up into a two-parter, 13-episode two-parter. Prodigy begins in January, and also beginning in January is Starship Location's Strange World Season 2. So, yeah, all of Season 2 will be taking place on one planet, basically. As we attempt to do a novel version of the whole Space Giants Colavito thing, the Lost Planet. Yeah, but that's later. Talk about that in New Year's. So because it's already written, we're just gonna adapt it. So discuss that later. But for now, Discovery season 7, middle of the season, takes a break just after the holidays kind of end here, and it was fine. There were weak parts. It was the President lady didn't seem as creepy. Booker's motivation is vaguely understandable. Oh yeah, and of course the Tal is gonna go to Trill, and they're kind of setting it up like they want to kill the gays. I hope they don't, because that would be bad. Don't want them to do that, because that would be bad. Because they've already tried to do that in other timelines 3 times now. And Stamets keep getting killed, or the Doctor gets killed or something. CBS, stop trying to kill the gay characters. Don't do that. That's a trope. Don't do that. And just not buying that Burnham is all that interesting. She just not as interesting as the captain than the other ones are. She just isn't. So there was a parody on Major Grins though of the last episode in which she was stuck in the time bubble thing in the captain's chair, and there was like explosions around and everything. And made fun of it, and they overdubbed it with her taking a dump. It's hilarious. It's called the Star Trek Discovery on the toilet. Let's see, where is that? Maybe I would have deleted it. Probably did. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's a Star Trek Discovery episode where on Major Grins where he does what we did in 1996 in the Picard Forward series, when we wrote Fist Contact, Mark's Cards 9, and that one was First Contact parody. And Wesley had messed with the replicator and made Picard have to run. So instead of the Borg attacking him in the bathroom in the opening scene when he's washing his face, he's on the can. And at the credits roll, he's all like, the credits come up. Ew. But anyway, so they took this scene with Burnham stuck in the pod on the captain's chair, and they basically said, it looks like she's taking a shit. So they're like, so she's all really trying to sell that she's in pain or something in the pod. And it looks like, she's taking a dump. So, yeah. Well done, Matrix. Anyway, so that's my review that isn't a review of this episode. It was fine, I guess. I'm sure Trek guards will go into it more. Trek Core already announced that moving of the hiatus. Well, we're telling you about that now. They're moving ahead. I'll show more Prodigy next week. That's pretty much it. Yeah.